I'll take it.
Try this. All right, so welcome to Y Rush Racing. I'm Charlie Hawkins. I'm here with Jay Reynolds.
Hey, Charlie.
Jay, how are you today?
Man, glad to be here.
Glad to be here?
I am.
Glad you could make it. You found it okay?
Yeah, it's quite the windy trail, but we made it.
I'm in one of the more difficult neighborhoods. I get that's pretty much the consensus.
Yeah,
to get here.
Right in the heart of Springfield.
Yes. Yeah. Jay Reynolds. Those of you out there that may not know, is in my world, he's kind of synonymous with Nitro Arenacross.
Sure.
Not always what you've done, but it's what you do now, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm really glad you could be here.
I appreciate it.
So for those of you out there, kind of say thank you very much for checking in, for tuning in, for listening on the podcast, watching live, however you're doing it. I'm very glad you could join us and glad you could be here. A few things, if you're watching this live. Number one, don't keep this little secret to yourself. Share it. Jay's got some cool stuff to talk about today, especially regarding Nitro Arenacross. And I'm looking forward to hearing about it. And I think there's other people out there as well that would like to hear about it. So
sure, we can talk Enduro cross. We can talk hillbilly, HHR, everything around here. We can talk about it all.
Demolition derbies.
If you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little off topic, but we'll probably get there. Yeah.
So there's if it has a motor, it's competition. You've kind of
I've done it or I'm doing
done it or you dabbled or something. Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
So no, that's awesome. So anyways, thank you. And then of course, remember there's that fourth wall. That's you guys, the chat board. So if you have questions for Jay, myself, if you want to say, hey Jay, when you bring him back Endurocross, for example, great question. Now's the time to ask. For example, right here, Megan Keenan says, Jay, will you and your daughter be back this weekend for the girls' ride?
Oh, my daughter is back from college for this weekend, so we really enjoyed it. By the way, let's talk about Megan Keenan and the girls' ride for just a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I took my daughter down there, and she had never rode around, farmland and stuff like that.
Okay.
We went down to HHR, which we're members there. And Megan really, really helped out Taryn. It's my youngest daughter, and really helped her out a lot. And she really got more confident on the motorcycle. So if there's any girls out there that have not, and then they had all kinds of skill levels. I mean, you got Megan, and there were two other girls there. I can't remember their names, but they were really, really fast, and they went on some of the more skilled rides, and then they hung out with Taryn and a couple of other girls, that were just. Not necessarily just learning, but, they need to stay in the fields, and we made some ventures. So, yeah, you need to go check that out. I think that's something she's doing every year, right?
Talked about this last weekend, right? When I had Tyler here.
Yeah.
And we were trying to convince his mom actually to go out there because she's relatively new to the sport.
Yep.
And it's a fun place. And she was a little intimidated by the fact that, hey, I don't have enough experience. You don't need you just kind of said, hey, you don't need a ton of experience to go out and
What's
spend.
Megan say? She says, Endurocross, please.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, okay?
And so if you're out there, if you're watching, if you're female, don't let your skill level intimidate you as far as that's not a good reason to show up. If riding dirt bikes.
Megan, I'm going to text her right now. She's actually coming home Friday night. We could load up in the motorhome, and we could be there Saturday morning. So if you got a spot, I'm going to ask her. Maybe she'll give me a response back by the end of the show.
There you go. So, yeah. So it's a great time. It's a lot of fun, and I encourage everybody to do it. So tell her to come on. New riders are my favorite, absolutely. So Megan, thank you. And I'm curious, is Taylor? How is she doing? Is her elbow back in its socket how it should be? And speaking of, I don't know if you've followed the entire women's like NEPG class in GNCC.
You're breaking my mojo here.
I'm sorry.
I got to get this text out to my daughter to make Megan happy here.
Talk to the world out there.
Yeah, yeah.
There have been some brutal Instagram pictures of the women's class. So we had like toes, fingers, and now a dislocated elbow from Taylor. So hopefully, Taylor, you're better if you're hearing this, and see you out there before too long.
I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah, we'll see what the answer. We'll see what the verdict is here in a minute.
All right, welcome back. All right, so I mentioned the Nitro Arenacross.
Yeah.
Is that something that you started, or
yeah, we started I think 10 years ago.
You did?
Yep.
Okay.
And started small. We started in Springfield with one. We started in Columbia. We started in barns everywhere, right?
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, they weren't barns, but they were a slight upgrade from a barn.
Yeah.
And that was on the Arenacross front. For any of you guys out there, remember the Indoor Winter Nationals. It says that she's healing up.
Yeah. So Taylor's healing. So, but she will be there. So she's one of the fast girls you were talking about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So Taylor races in the B class.
Yeah, I was going to say we would probably work to keep up with Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So, no shame in that out there, guys. I might tell you.
Yeah.
No shame in that. So, so we started, we saw a need in the whole Midwest. There was no indoor motocross. My friend had a motocross series that was out in Texas.
Okay.
The O'Reilly Arenacross series.
Okay.
And so I went and looked at that and saw some opportunities here that we could get started and have indoor motocross. Because why do you race indoors? Because it's too cold to go outdoors. There's not much other reason to do it. Yeah. Most people would rather be outdoors. So it gets cold, and so people come indoors.
You say that, I'm curious. So, because I listen to a podcast called Main Event Moto, right? And so, you're not racing in football stadiums, but the host of that, Daniel Blair, he's like, screw outdoors. No interest in outdoors. He only wants to do the Supercross.
Supercross and Arenacross, sure.
Yeah, and he might have done Arenacross too. But I mean, are there people that are like there are starting to be big groups of people that are specializing in Arenacross. Okay.
And that's what they like to do. I like to see a crossover. They need to learn both.
Yeah, for sure.
They really do. Our riders who come and race the whole Arenacross series go into outdoors with really good corner speed. Mm-hmm. They have better rhythm because that's the two things you need: is good corner speed and good rhythm for Arenacross, and really good starts. And so they're better starters. They just come out they come out a step above anybody that takes the winter off, of course, because they're not on the bike. There's a rider out in the South that is being trained right now, and he doesn't like the outdoors. He's a young kid, and he's been told by Ricky Carmichael, because he's at the Ricky Carmichael farm, that he better start liking, if he wants to go anywhere in this sport. This was Ricky's words to him. If you want to go to him and his dad, said, if you want to go anywhere in this sport, you better start doing Arenacross.
Okay.
There's no Supercross really to do. Now there's Supercross Futures, but you better get to like it because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
Right? All contracts are determined off that. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes, that's what I understand.
Because that's where the largest you got to follow the money, right?
Yes, and
where's the money?
Yep.
The money's in Supercross because the TV contracts are larger.
Yes.
Because the viewing population is larger, and so that's where the money comes from. That's where the money starts. That's where it all goes.
Yeah.
And that's where the riders need to be. Unfortunately, I mean, for all us dyed in the wool, outdoor motocross guys, that were raised that way. That's where the money is.
Just think how the enduro and hare scramble people feel.
Sure. Yeah.
Less TV.
Well,
or non-existent. There is Racer TV. They do like online streaming.
Yeah, I logged on to CBS Sports Network and saw some Works.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some Works races on just not too long ago. I mean, it's pretty wide stuff. You know? I mean, they but so there was some cool stuff there.
Yeah, I'm always thinking like, how could they make the GNCCs more marketable? And it's like, The 9-mile loop, it's really hard.
Yeah, they've done the best they can with the Racer TV, though.
Yes, they're doing. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, it's just going to be hard because it's not highly TV. You know, the whole TV package is hard.
Yes. And it's not like the Tour de France, whatever. They have helicopters flying overhead. Like, we're in woods, so you can't even have the helicopters, I mean, even if there was the money for that, you couldn't do it. So just a lot of challenges. And so, yeah, that's interesting. So Motorhead Events is kind of like, I guess, is it the parent company or what's that?
Uh-huh.
And then, so did you start out doing Arenacross, or what's kind of?
Well, we started originally with go-kart race, flat track racing, anything that go in a circle.
Okay.
So we put go-karts. We had this idea to put go-karts and flat track four-wheelers and flat track motorcycles. And so we all raced it.
Do they have slicks, knobbies? What do they have?
We make a no slick. You make a non-knobby rule usually, so it doesn't tear up the track.
Even the
But
quads.
they have a Hoosier. Yeah, they have a Hoosier flat track tire.
They do.
Yeah, or an American Racer or whatever type of tire they want to run.
Oh, okay.
And then you can run a flat track bike, you can run a flat track quad, and you can run a racing kart. They don't all like the same surface, but it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that lasted for about 4 or 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then out of that, then we went on to I think we started doing Arenacross next, and then we picked up some demolition derby stuff.
Yeah.
And been doing all that and then the go-kart stuff went away. And now Brennan Willard out in Lebanon's picked that up.
Okay.
And so
yeah, because I mentioned this before the show, but I did go-kart racing on asphalt little go-kart tracks, and I did a little Google search trying to find, do I take my cart with me or do I leave it here when I moved back, and I left it back there.
Howlett.
Huh?
Howlett, Oklahoma is the closest.
And but that's a full road course, or do they have like a little track, like kart
Oklahoma
track
City.
there?
Oklahoma City has a kart track.
Okay.
My friend has a motocross track and a kart track. It's pretty cool.
Really?
OMC complex. Yeah.
Okay, but I did find a few dirt oval tracks within like 2 hours, and I was like, not the same kart.
No, not the same thing. Yep.
We'll move back.
So that's what got you. Is that what got you started in the motorcycle thing?
Absolutely.
Really? So you started here?
Well, okay. So I grew up riding dirt bikes as a cattle checker. So if my dad has a farm, and I'd get on the 100, and
right.
It was air cooled, and just it wasn't. And my dad had a saying, "It's a tool, not a toy."
Yeah.
And so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, okay. I'm a kid. It's a toy, right? I mean, it's still, he tells me the same thing. I still do stuff I shouldn't do, but.
Did you pop a wheelie?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can't ride a wheelie, but
right.
My dad, he could do it. And I was like, how do you do it? And you hold your mouth wrong, and you just do it, but anyways, so yeah, tool, not a toy, but I mean, not to say that I couldn't have fun with it. I could just don't wreck the thing.
So then you come down here. So what got you started in this?
I wanted go-karts. Reason I liked it, it was relatively inexpensive, and I could tinker with the motor. Yeah. Right. And so I'm like, all right, well, what's similar? Dirt bikes. Yeah. So that's kind of I can race. I like being competitive about stuff. I like doing something that's competitive. Yeah. Get your adrenaline going. I can tinker. And it's a small motor, right? It's not big, so relatively cheap. That's what got me into off-road racing.
That's awesome. So, I like it.
And because, I never knew about this sport. So in 2014, I went to the 100-miler as a spectator just to see if this is something that I'm interested in, and here I am. So.
Did you ride the 100-miler for your first race?
No, I was a spectator.
Oh, okay, you'd said that. Yeah.
So I started racing that following March with the goal of I got to get ready for the 100-miler. I'm going to race the 100-miler. I'm going to do 50 miles. I'm going to do it.
Have you done the 70 miles yet?
I've done the 96. So
you have?
Yeah, I didn't make the lot. I didn't.
Good job. I'll shake your hand for that. I haven't made it past 50.
So I qualified for the night motor last year.
Wow.
And I did not finish the last lap, or I did not start the last lap.
So I won the C class.
Okay.
Way back, I think second year I raced, I won the C class in the 100-miler out at, that was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard. So
You won. So
I won it, yeah. I promised myself if I was not in first place, I was not taking the second lap.
Oh.
I was going to pull off. And I was in first place. So
dang it.
Yeah, because I was done. I was done after the first lap.
Well, I said that to myself after the end of the 75 miles, I'm like, I'm done. Even if I qualify, I'm not doing it. And then, of course, with the assumption I'm not going to qualify, right?
Right.
And then I qualified. I'm like, well, that'd be stupid not to do it.
At least start it.
Huh?
At least start it.
At least start it.
The process.
Do a lap and just do it.
There aren't too many people out there that say they did that.
Yeah. So
Right?
so that's my feather in my cap there, and
Yeah,
it was
that's
an
a big
awesome
feather.
experience, and
Yeah.
and it was tough for sure. Jeff helped me a little more than he should have in the no help zone, but
Yeah.
I was dead last by a lot, so who cares?
Jeff Ott?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Our buddy Jeff. Everybody loves Jeff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it.
Yeah. So how long have you been riding for? Or
Since I was, 10.
10?
Yeah, I
And-
did. I mean, raced motocross as a kid, was never any good.
Yeah.
Never had any money. I mean, I literally bought my own bike, my own pants, my own everything. you
Really?
know. Yeah, I mean, all the way as a kid. I even paid for the gas to get to the races. I
Really?
had to save up the money we didn't have any money. So, so saved up the money to get the gas to go to the races.
Wow.
16, I wanted to go to college, so I sold everything. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and started again when I was like 21. Sold it all again for the whole married thing, right?
Yeah.
And you did that, and then started again at 40,
Okay.
and then started racing motocross and enduro, and started. That was the first time I ever really rode very much off road. I started riding what they call the Chadwick Wednesday midweek ride
Oh, really?
for 2 years and never missed a Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
every morning,
Okay.
every morning. So that was a lot of fun.
Who would you ride with?
Steve Batson,
Okay. Yeah.
known as Batman.
Yep. I work with his son, actually.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Shane Huff. Not Shane. No, sorry, not Shane. We called him Tree Hugger. But yeah, and,
He's
Shane
probably- is
and
it probably not
Phil, Shane, Phil. Let's see. Anyway, there was a good group of us that met.
I'm curious, tree hugger. Is
Yeah.
that's not because of the environmental aspect, I'm guessing.
no, because he wrecks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Shane Vass.
Okay. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard that name too.
And,
We got a comment here from Edward Greenlee saying, "Hey, what's up, gents? Jay, keep up the work with the Nitro Arenacross. You run a top-notch program."
I appreciate it. We're getting a lot of, organization and skill. I'm not skill, but organization on the arena cross is what we're known for. I learned how to do it all wrong. Nobody ever taught me.
Okay.
A lot of people out there could probably attest to that, that's been around a long time ago. But I think we have the most organized, and we're told that we are. We have the most organized, the most structure. We have the the full-on transponder system, MyLap's transponder system that they use in Supercross. So if
Okay.
you come to run our arena cross, you're gonna either own one and use one, or you're gonna rent one.
Okay.
So you can see full lap times, the whole 9 yards, qualify in on lap times. The pros qualify in on lap times. So we've got all that going. The full staff to do all the staging correctly, everything. And we run through close to 700 entries a weekend,
Oh, wow.
and we're actually out of there by 10 o'clock at night. So it's a long. So appreciate it. Big announcement. I might mention this. Can
Okay,
I
yeah.
do the drum roll.
Sure.
So Hoosier Arena Cross, Hoosier Tires. A lot of you guys have seen them come on. Craig Stagner says, now the Hoosier. He stole my thunder. Craig, you stole my thunder. Okay. So we come on there and keep that Barkbuster class alive. I like that. We brought that on last year, the Barkbuster class.
I saw that.
Yeah.
He probably raced at the Oklahoma
Yeah.
round.
Yep. So anyway, Hoosier Tires started creating, big into race car tires and go-kart tires
for
and
sure,
everything.
yeah.
And what people don't know is that Irish Saunders, who's the kind of the face of of Hoosier Tires, his son was a very, very good motocrosser.
Okay.
Got paralyzed, but they saw a real need for a new up-and-coming brand, and they've come on to the motocross and now off-road scene just by storm.
Yes.
So they came to me last year, said, we want to help you out in your program. We want to get these tires out. And then this year they said, you've got going on as far as with the Nitro Arenacross. We think you can help you take it to another level. And so last Thursday at 10:30 at night, we signed the dotted line for them to make it the Hoosier Arenacross Nationals.
Yeah.
So pretty excited about that.
No, absolutely. That is pretty cool. And I was telling you before the show, you kind of threw me for a loop because I looked at this morning.
Yeah.
Don't look for Nitro Arenacross on Instagram. It's now Hoosier.
Yeah, we're changing everything over. Everything's slowly getting changed over.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome that you have that. And I can't remember who the name was, but they do off-road tires, as you mentioned as well. Hoosier does. for off-road racing. I wish I could remember who we talked to. It was one of the national guys.
Right, that had used it.
That used the Hoosier tires.
Yep. So Jeff Ott's telling you, I think he's saying that you cheated.
Yeah, Jeff said no. Oh, yeah. So he's talking about the 100-miler. He said, I had helped Travis up the hill, and the race wasn't over. Race was over, wasn't changing any results, just good sportsmanship.
Oh, okay. He didn't cheat. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
he didn't slip him 100 after you were done or anything, or before. You actually probably gave it to him before.
We don't need to talk about that.
Okay,
all right?
okay,
I did not do it after the race, though. But no, so Jeff was a good sport about it, and I was very thankful because there's something special is where it was.
Oh.
Yeah. So I got my front wheel up, and that's about where I was going to be for a while.
Right, sure. Absolutely. HHR, it's a great place, isn't it? We're so lucky. I got to tell you, driving around, and I put on a small Enduro cross series there a few years back, so I got to find out about a lot of people that ride off-road.
Okay.
And then going into all these different areas that we go, right? Different places, Kansas City, St. Louis, and that don't have any place to ride, really.
Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly. And we've got two really good ones in the third. We've got 3 places that are literally 30 minutes from Springfield where we can ride.
So you're talking Hardwood Hill. Well, Hardwood Hills is fun. Are you talking about
Hardwood Hills, Chadwick, and Soggy Bottom if you can endure the trails.
The only problem, I guess, is with Hardwood Hills, you have to be a member.
You do.
And so if you got to pay attention to that. Uh-oh. Now Jeff thinks I owe money. Thanks a lot. So, yeah, Hardwood Hills, you do have to be a member. You can't just show up there. But, yeah, for sure, Soggy Bottom and, of course, Chadwick. That's public property there. But, yeah,
but we have the opportunity, right?
We do have the opportunity.
I mean, of hundreds of acres of single-track trail.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
We're lucky.
We're blessed.
Yes.
Lucky, blessed, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of hard work that's went into all that from a lot of guys to make it happen. And so anybody out there, you guys need to support it because it's not happening. And it's just not happening. And
because another thing I hear is like you talk about like Finger Lakes or Park Hills, the public part of Park Hills, and it's all quadded out or UTVs, it's all widened out, sure. Right? Yep. And we're pretty lucky. Chadwick has miles and miles of single track. Yep. They have a whole motorcycle area only.
Yep.
So we are very lucky here.
Tremendously. I just anyway enough about the rant or whatever it is, but I mean, I don't know why Kansas City or St. Louis, but we have what we have, so let's be happy about it and treat it right.
Yeah. Here in a few minutes, we're going to be given. I failed to mention at the beginning of the show, top of the show, but Kevin Moranz, who is killing it in pro motocross right now, going to be he just finished this season, going to be racing Supercross here in a few months.
Yep.
We're going to be giving him a phone call. So if you guys have any questions for Kevin. Feel free to just chime in here as well. But we're going to give him a call, and he's raced. Did he kind of grow up?
Yeah, he kind of growing up on the winter race. The Arenacross series. Yeah, he came through the Nitro Arenacross or now the Hoosier Arenacross ranks, and then went on to Amsoil. The Amsoil Arenacross did very well, and I think this was his first full year on outdoor motocross.
Okay.
So as a national pro.
Okay. And then I think this might be, and likewise, for Supercross, this might be his first full.
Oh yeah, this will be his first. Yeah, his first.
Because he did. They didn't have the Amsoil Arenacross last winter, did they?
No.
No. Okay. No. Well, do you want to give him a call?
Let's do it.
See what he's up to.
Yep. Let's do it. So Charles gave me a tip. Whenever you guys come on here, then you want to talk into this microphone. He said you got to eat the mic for you guys to hear it. So, so if it looks like I'm eating the mic, that's tip number 1 from Why Rush Racing.
Yes.
Oh, I need to put on my headset so I can hear it.
You're not going to hear much from him.
Okay, guys.
Hello?
Hey, is this Kevin?
Yes, it is.
Kevin, this is Charlie Hawkins. I'm here with Jay. How are you today, bud?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, better than I deserve. Jay?
Oh, man, excited. So so you're back off the road there, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are you in studio, Jay?
I am in studio.
Nice.
Why Rush Racing is where you need to go. You can watch us.
You know, you can Facebook or YouTube.
Sweet.
So where are you today?
I am at my house today here in Topeka, Kansas.
Topeka, Kansas. Right on. And then so that's home base for you then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're one of the lucky ones. I guess did your season kind of just end with
Yeah, pretty much. The pro outdoors just got done this past weekend. I mean, me being done and taking a break is not really an option. It's not going to happen. I'm actually leaving tomorrow morning to head towards Texas for the Pro Challenge. But yeah, the racing never really stops.
Oh wow. Okay. And then but this past weekend you were at the Ironman. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
So let's get it. Yeah. So of course we saw each other there whenever we were there and up there supporting you. Hey, I'm sure the listeners would love to know. So you're on a national stage. You're actually on a national stage. So what are some of the crazy things? Like I saw you putting tear-offs on your goggles, and I was amazed at how many you were sitting there lapping over the edges.
Yeah.
And so what's that like whenever you're out there? I mean, I saw one guy who did not qualify. He said it was the hardest thing he'd ever done, and he has a pro card. And he said you can't. There's super deep ruts, the whole 9 yards. So I'm sure people would like to know some of